Steal a toy from me in elementary? I'll steal 80,000 when you grow up. In the third grade, I was an awkward kid and had a mean drunk father, so I struggled to fit in and make friends and was bullied and shunned by other kids. One of my classmates, Derek, who regularly partook in bullying me, showed me kindness one day. Being deprived of kindness or attention so regularly, I was putty in his hands. He hung out with me during recess when I was usually alone. We laughed and talked about girls we like. He even apologized for being an asshole to me. The reason he was nice to me was because I had brought a very popular, expensive Batman action figure to school with me to pass the time since I was alone mostly. I saved allowance and mowed lawns for 2 months to buy that toy. Everyone wanted one. By the end of the day, he asked me if he could lend the action figure, and like the naive, socially inept kid I was, I trusted him with it. The deal was to return it the following morning. I went home so happy, completely fooled. I never suspected a thing. The following day, he completely ignored me. When I tried to talk to him, he acted like I was crazy. When I asked him to return the action figure, he simply said, "You never gave me any Batman. Maybe you imagined it." And when I persisted, he threatened to beat me up. When I complained to my teacher, I was told that it was my own fault for bringing toys to school, and I was afraid they would involve my father, so I dropped it. I couldn't let my father know, or I would be called a wimp and have me get beat up and punished for the next 2 weeks. What's worse is that Derek told all the girls that I confided in him about fancying that I lusted after them, and that I wanked to them. I was a social outcast before that, but at least I was tolerated. But after his smear campaign with the girls, I was a leper, and people wouldn't even look me in the eyes, not even the teachers. Kids started throwing stones at me, sabotaged and vandalized my property. It was hell. I did nothing about it but cry. I was just a weak-willed kid after all, but to this day I wish I'd bit someone's ear off or anything in retaliation. After a while, the bullying died down and I focused on my studies and started getting good grades. Derek started talking to me again, but I ignored him completely. Sometimes he would repeat, "Why are you being such a baby? You didn't give me anything. You imagined it." By the end of the year, we moved houses, and I transferred to another school not far away. Things were much better there. I finally had friends, and I was not as naive anymore, so I was not as easily targeted. But I was still mostly me and still got picked on now and then. Over the years, I became somewhat of a delinquent, and in high school, I got into regular fights. I may have been overcompensating for the lack of a spine I had in my younger years. I bartended in nightclubs, hotels, and cruise liners in my early 20s. This helped me a lot to be more socially adept and to understand social dynamics and human nature. I finished trade school and qualified as an electrician, and later as a plumber. I know, water and electricity, but believe it or not, I thought it was ingenious at the time. I started my own business, developed a reputation for excellent workmanship in my local area, and did well for myself. When I was 29, I received a call out at 2 in the morning for a flooding emergency at a local residence. When I got there, the place was a mess. Water was jetting out of a burst pipe, and electrical equipment was shorted. It was highly dangerous. The living room floor was caved in due to a sinkhole. I was met by the wife, let's call her Jane, hysterical, and beside herself. She somehow thought that she was responsible, which I found odd. I assured her that it couldn't possibly be her fault. He arrived not 5 minutes later. His demeanor was irate. He didn't greet or shake my hand when I offered, and I recognized him immediately. Derek from all those years ago. He demanded to know why I have not begun fixing the issue yet. I was professional, and told him what I'd told the wife in terms of costs, but I hid the written quote in my vehicle. I told him who I was, and acted happy to see him, and assured him that he was in good hands. After a while of arguing with his wife, he seemed to calm down and joked around with me. I knew I had fooled him. Here's where my revenge began.